It might be the fourth round, fifth round. I don't know. Every round we talk about this because it's time for your guys' favorite subject in all of footy, umpire dissent. Oh no, I put my hands up. Let me hold my hands below my desk.
50, 50 meters, 50
Oh,
meters.
I guess I can't talk for 50 seconds is what we're. Oh boy. So
Oh
the
boy.
umpire dissent rule might be on paper. It's getting better for the players and the fans, but also might get worse at the same time because even more gray area is pumped into already beyond gray rulebook that the Australian Aussie rules is played by. But so what's happening now for those that are unaware is that we'll put into quotes. So the AFL is recalibrating the definition of dissent and coached umpires to tolerate a level of player emotion immediately after a decision. And this is where the more gray comes in, as long as they displayed restraint. So, on paper, kind of like I was saying, I am all for this rule. If you have a guy, it's get caught in emotion, throw his hands up, but like doesn't assault the ref or like really try to yell at him or get anything and change. It's just a quick reaction, and then they don't really try to argue with the ref that or sorry the umpire. I'm going to get destroyed this episode. Damn. But as long as they're not doing anything to harm the umpire, to berate the umpire or anything like that, I don't see a problem with it. If it's just hands up, go back down. I really don't think that should be 50. And apparently the league is trying to make some changes because players haven't been happy. The umpires have been getting put in a bad position. The fans clearly haven't been happy. The only problem with this though is that I think it's a good change you're making, but how they're announcing the change is not great because, especially Jack Rewell, he suggested that some players that especially ones that avoid the footy media, which not a bad idea, especially for in Victoria, they're pretty blindfolded by this news because apparently from the players themselves, the league has done a bad job with their communication regarding with this rule in other sort of umpiring as well. So your thoughts on this rule change, and also why you think the AFL would be doing a better job at telling their players about the rules they're putting into their game, right?
Okay, I went off on this because I found so many people complaining about this online. And again, I understand why people were losing their minds over it. Okay, I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the rule because I thought it brought in something that hadn't been there, and
Mm-hmm.
that was a little bit more respect. Now, there was a ton of people, they were kind of trying to flip this as like, we got thin-skinned umpires that they're no, they're doing what they're told. They're not trying to
The
step up the
umpires did
game.
not
it's
make this
it's
rule. The league
it,
made this
well,
rule.
again, this is where the messenger gets shot a little bit more.
A little bit more
So
than
the
a shot. They
problem,
got shot, beat, burned, thrown into the river. It has been pretty.
exactly. So I think that's kind of one of those. I look at it and I go, oh boy. So it'll be very interesting. I liked the rule. Did I like how it was fully umpired? No. Like I'll legitimately tell you, there were times that the word demonstrative was nowhere even close to what was happening, and it
Yeah.
was called. So I understand the change. Do I think that all this does is make a grayer matter even grayer? Yes, because again, this is only going to confuse, and it's one of those many when I have discussions with fans about umpiring, it's like I understand you're frustrated, but a lot of your argument, you literally negate your argument because it's how you see it. It's not how the umpire sees it. The umpire is in a completely different
Mm-hmm.
situation. You are sitting on your couch or you're sitting in your seat. You don't get the close up. You don't see what he's seeing and how he's seeing it. You see it through a certain camera lens, or for some people, a certain eyeglass lens. So that's why I kind of look at it and I go, I've been trying as best as I can to not really even discuss how it's gone. In fact, I've even went out of my way to basically kind of take away their argument because as I noticed many of the times, well, this 50, why did they call it? And 99.9% of the games, did that 50 affect the outcome of the game? No, it didn't. Very few of them ever did. Like as I went through, a majority of the controversial ones that went off, and again, I'm not trying to get very frustrated with this, but I've said this, and I'm going to say it again. 90% of your controversial 50s that you were screaming about always went to a team that won.
Yep.
The team that got it was the team that won the game. Harris Andrews gets it. Brisbane Lions win the game. It's like, stop complaining about something that did not change the outcome of the game. Did it affect the game and change maybe how the game ended? Yes, 100% agree with you. I'm a Swans fan. Was the Chad Warner 1 of 50? No, it wasn't. Was it the reason the Swans lost? No, they gave up a 9-goal quarter in that second quarter. Was that part of the 9 goals? Yes, but it wasn't the only reason. So I don't understand the whinging. Like, legitimately don't understand it. Do I think that they are changing it to kind of make it a little bit less of an issue? Yes. I think they're tired of getting roasted online by a combination of the media, the fans, and the players, that the AFL finally said, you know what, we're just stuff it. I'm done fighting it. Let's just change it.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this, and I heard somebody say it, and I agree with it. No, don't change it. Don't change it. Don't change it until next off season. Why? Because everybody's already doing it. And I'm going to point this fact out. Most people, yes, we only had 6 games. How many Dissent 50s did we have this week? None. 0.
That's the only reason.
Nil.
One of the only reasons
Nada.
it wasn't
Yes.
the news more.
Was this a final? No. And I get that argument. I really do. But the players have figured it out. Okay. They figured it out. And we had several games that were tight, but we did not get any Dissent penalty. We did not get any Dissent 50 meters. So for me, this is such an overblown issue that is not as big a problem as people want it to be, because it has not changed a game yet. I say yet because it still could, because I do agree with, yes, it's an emotional game. Yes, I understand that. Yes, these players aren't robots. But these players are smart. They can figure stuff out. They are not idiots. They are not meatheads. They study the game. They'll have figured it out by the time we get to the finals. Do I understand that an emotional situation could change a game? Yes, it could. But as of right now, very few of these 50s have actually changed a game significantly enough to make me go, not sure if I like this rule.
Exactly.
Again, we've still got plenty of footy, but they've changed it now. So here's going to be how do we see how this goes? This is like changing the shot clock in the middle of an NCAA basketball season.
Yeah, I think
to see how.
If I had to speculate why
interesting.
Why they made this change, why they made it now, among other reasons, I think there might be a couple of guys up there be like, man, it might not have cost a game yet. What if it does, or let alone what if it costs a finals game? Then that is going to that's going to have a giant impact. All right, backlash from fans, from players, from maybe even other executives. But if the thing is,
have a reason to change it.
Exactly.
That's
but
my
I think
point, though.
No, I totally understand your point. I'm just speculating here. Is that I think their mindset is that they're just trying to get ahead of it.
They're trying to do damage control.
Exactly. So I obviously I agree with you. But I think that this is what the league is trying to do. They're trying to just put out they're trying to water the grass before it catches fire. You know what I mean? So which is fair. If that is why. Also, it won't surprise me if they just kind of put this up to a coin toss and went with head. So yeah, we'll change it mid-season. Either makes perfect sense to me in my head.
Like it sometimes doesn't it? It really does. And again, I am not envious of the Scott brother that's running this, because he's literally between a rock and a hard place. Because if he doesn't change it, he's still got to deal with all the drama. But now that he changes it, the issue he's going to run into is the fact is that there could be one that could change a game later on in the season. We'll have to see. Does the umpire that's there deem it demonstrative?
Oh, that's another thing, Donnie. Great point. It's not the league's fault if this goal. It's on the ref or it's on the umpire. The umpire is going to get all the blame. Totally shifted to him. Perfect scapegoat. Round of applause for the league. Genius.
I don't.
Genius.
I'm not gonna. I don't like doing that because I feel horrible for the umpires because this is a no winner for
Yeah.
the umpire. I mean, again, umpiring it's a no win job, like legitimately a no win job. So, I stated it online and I'll continue to state it. Even if the Swans lose a game because of an umpire decision, you will never see me complain about it because again, I've done the job. I know the job. I'm
Absolutely.
not going to complain about it because it's a fool's argument. And I've stated it many times, and I think it's getting bad. Like, especially over here in the States, I'm tired of these stories of parents and coaches and
Parents
even
ruin.
players
Parents ruin it.
abusing these umpires. And I just feel horrible for them. And my favorite argument is I just want to grab a whistle. I want to find the person that's, pardon my French here, bitching the most. I want to throw a whistle at him, go, you go do your job. You go do it. Since obviously you know better than everybody, you go do it. Because then you want to know what I would do? I'd go sit in the stands and I'd give them that much abuse, just as much to make them understand it's not as simple as you think it is, buddy. It really isn't.
No.
Sit down, especially if you're a parent.
Oh,
Sit down.
parents ruin
And
youth sports.
Shut up.
I will live and die by that.
Cheer
As a
for your
player,
child,
as a
cheer
coach,
for their team. Other than
Ugh.
that, shut up.
Parents are
I
the
am
worst
tired
part
of
about
this.
youth sports. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Well, it's
They,
unfortunately
oh,
it's our society. It legitimately it's our society. Our society has made it to where winning and the money that is in
the
sports,
money.
especially here in the States, it's not. I don't think it's as bad over in Australia. Which again, Australians, thank God you at least have somewhat sane parents. A little bit. It's not perfect. You still have some issues. I mean, unfortunately there's dickheads everywhere, so that's going to happen. But the societal change on that everything is about winning, it just does my head in. Because as a youth coach that I coached basketball over here in the States for 10 years, I have never, ever, ever been so annoyed with parents at times when they come to the game and all they're doing is whinging about
Mm-hmm.
the umpiring. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're here to watch your child. There's no state championship for seventh grade basketball. Let them enjoy the game while they can.
Enjoying the game,
it's
Donnie?
difficult.
No,
It's
no,
difficult
that's
as
dumb.
enough
What the?
when you get into high school because you got the state championships to potentially play for.
Mhm.
I'm just like, oh my god, it does my head in.
What a
So
horrible idea, Donnie. Talking about actually, just
yeah,
enjoying the game.
sanity is such a bad thing.
Jeez,
My god.
stupid. Unbelievable. I don't know why I even have you here for your horrible, horrible opinions.